Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Isabelle, the belle half of Peybelle, and today we are doing another screen recorded video. This time we are doing what a lot of people are doing around this time of year. We are going to be doing a March Madness. I admittedly don't know a whole lot about the original version of March Madness because I'm not that into sports, but I do love the format. I love comparing things, and I think doing something like this is just kind of fun and timely. I feel like nobody else really does this at any other time of year except for now. So I wanted to kind of do something that might be almost more like a game. I have separated a bunch of songs into 4 heats, which are these 4 quadrant categories here. So we have girl group title tracks, boy group title tracks, girl group B-sides, and boy group B-sides. There will eventually, as we go down the list, there will eventually be one winner per category that will then compare to one another and find out who the ultimate champion is. Now, I will say that this is probably a little bit rigged already because I hand selected all these songs, but I think that it will still be fun. I tried to put similar songs into the same matchups. And I know that that is not how regular March Madness works, but it's something that's always bugged me about regular March Madness because I feel like comparing apples and oranges can result in a very unbalanced thing to do. And I know that when you start a chart like this, I think it's supposed to be random to give everybody kind of a fighting chance. I don't want to roll that way. So what I want to do is just go down the list, talk a little bit about why I paired certain songs together, and then just narrow it down to my ultimate favorites. And obviously, I love all these songs. I put them all on the list for a reason, but I just think it will be fun. So we're going to do that. I think I am going to do orange next. So we'll start in the girl group title track category. So let me see about zooming in here. Perfect. So, category number 1, we have Wee Woo by Pristin and The Boots by Gugudan. I think both of these songs are kind of, I hesitate to say girl crush concept, but I think they have the same feel. And they're also by now disbanded girl groups that I love. Post IOI success stories, I suppose, that are no longer with us, which is a shame. I really love Pristin. I also love Gugudan. The only thing is I cannot name every member of Gugudan, so I feel like it probably has to go to Pristin. And just listening to Wee Woo makes me very emotional, so I think this one has to go to Wee Woo. Next category is Peekaboo by Red Velvet versus Piri by Duque. I think this one is a little bit of a challenge because while they are both powerhouses, the genre is not exactly the same. I did go with Peekaboo though over any other Red Velvet title just because it's the one that I've listened to the most, which I think seems a little uncharacteristic for me. I think I probably read more of a Power Up or Red Flavor kind of girl, and I do listen to those a lot. I think I would probably say my most played Red Velvet title of all of them is hashtag Cookie Jar, so that probably seems a little more on brand for me. But Piri is also my favorite Duque title track as well, so I think it was only fair to match them up with each other. Peekaboo benefits from that incredible music video though, but I could listen to Piri all day. Ooh, I think I have to make these choices otherwise I'll be lingering on them forever, so I think this one has to go to Peekaboo. Love So Sweet by Cherry Bullet versus La Di Da by Everglow. battle of the new girl groups, or new-ish, I guess. This one, as much as I loved Love So Sweet, I think this one easily has to go to La Di Da. I think that song made a lot of people, Everglow fans, made them aware of the group, and I think it surpassed a lot of people's expectations. Even after Dun Dun and Bon Bon Chocolat, I think there was a lot of attention that was paid to La Di Da that it definitely deserved. This next category, I think I played myself, putting TT by Twice and Icy by Itzy against one another, I think was a mistake because it made this matchup really, really hard. They are both really good. You know what? I actually found that I don't think a lot of people like Icy. Icy is my favorite Itzy song, total. B-sides, titles, whatever. And I don't know why it gets so much vitriol. TT is the song that made me a K-pop fan. So I think I probably have to give it to TT. But wow, why did I do that to myself? This next one is also very difficult. Bazooka by Gongwon Sonyo versus Tag Me at Me by Weekly. These are amazing songs. Bazooka is so good that it has been tiding me over until whenever Gongwon Sonyo's comeback is. And Tag Me is probably one of the best debut songs by a girl group ever. Bazooka. I think I might give it to Bazooka. Even though I am a card carrying daily. We'll see. All right, now we're throwing it back just a little bit. We're doing Very, Very, Very by IOI versus G by Girls' Generation. These are both very cute concept songs by powerhouses, by kind of legendary girl groups, even though IOI was limited, disbanded, all of that. And G is kind of the standard of cute concept songs. I really just want to give it to Very, Very, Very. It gets stuck in my head all the time. And I think it's one of those songs that is like kind of timeless in its simplicity. Not a lot of songs make you feel like this anymore. Hit by Mamamoo versus by A Pink. As much as I love Hip, probably my favorite Mamamoo title. Have you today? If you haven't, honestly, I would say pause this video and go listen to it. And I think that should tell you more than anything how I'm feeling about this. Drip by Hinapia versus Hush by Miss A. I know this is an unfair matchup. I just wanted to talk about Hinapia for a moment. I think this is really showing either my love for disbanded girl groups or the unjust lifespan of a lot of girl groups. I remember when Hinapia announced that they were debuting, I was so excited and I got into them so quickly, of course, because I already loved Pristin, and then with Bada being amazing, it was so natural. And then it all fell apart so fast, and I will never not be upset about it. However, Hush is legendary, so I do have to do that. I think it was just a little excuse for a soapbox moment. All right, so we are going to finish the second matchups here. This is probably not how you're supposed to do it, but this is how I'm choosing to do it. And I'll go from the bottom to the top on this one. Once again, in the boy group title tracks category, we are starting with the cute concept matchup of the century. We are talking about Baby by Astro versus Let Me by Golden Child. These songs are so serotonin inducing. I feel like a lot of people are like, boy group concepts are only grinding on the floor, leather pants, no shirt. EDM drops and people are like, well, where are the cute concept songs? Here they are. They're right here. And they have always been here. And neither of these groups do cute concept the same way that they used to. But these songs kind of are exactly what people are looking for, and I feel like people never talk about them. I'm not even into Astro that much. Frankly, I'm not even into Golcha that much either. But I really loved a lot of Golcha's new stuff. Neither of these groups make songs like this anymore. So I'm kind of basing this solely on legacy. I will say that seeing Golcha at KCON and seeing them perform Let Me at that time was really wonderful, especially because I didn't really know much about them. And then I spent a little while getting to know them, and then I forgot to keep up with it. But Baby is one of those songs that just always feels good. Next is a soloist category, so I went ahead and paired up UN Village by Baekhyun and On by Hong Eun-ki. If you watched my January wrap-up video, you'll know how much I love this song, but it's Baekhyun. Like, I don't know if anybody can even come close. But again, if you haven't listened to On, go listen to it because that song is incredible. I am rehashing some old beef with this next one. We are doing my favorite title tracks from the... I keep saying powerhouses, but these are really the powerhouses. We are doing Boy With Love by BTS versus Lucky One by EXO. And I feel like it's not right to do this, but I find it funny, first of all. And so, of course, I have to do it. Because I feel like BTS and EXO don't have beef anymore. Let me clarify. I don't think BTS and EXO, the members themselves, the groups themselves, ever actually had any beef. I think for sure their company is trying to manufacture it, and without a doubt their fandoms did. But ARMY and EXO-L can coexist now at this time because they're just in different stages of life. Also, I like Lucky One. Lucky One is my favorite EXO title track. So Lucky One is gonna win. Now, the next category, I'm not gonna say it's meme songs. I don't think Her is technically a meme song, but Her by Block B versus Jobbing by Super M. Her is such a good song. I don't really like any other Block B songs that much, just because they can't touch Her. That song is so good, and it's kind of one of those ones that really stood out in its time of release, but it's about jobbing. Will jobbing ever get old? My coworker, I had showed her jobbing, and then whenever she came into work and I was playing music and I was in charge of the music, she would ask, is it time to job? And this is a person who had never heard of a K-pop artist in her life. And I think that shows you a lot about the power of jobbing. The next category is probably the opposite of the first category. When I was saying there is cute concept and there is like horny concept, this is probably that. Doing Chained Up by VIXX versus Love Killa by Monsta X. I think I'm kind of a genius for putting them together. I think those songs were meant to be thought of in the same breath. There's something about them that Monsta X feels like the spiritual successor of VIXX, and Love Killa feels like a natural progression of Chained Up. Chained Up is probably the original concept that everybody else is trying to do with their dark concept songs, and it really is legendary. Though I will say Love Killa is probably one of my favorite Monsta X title tracks. And that's from someone who actually didn't really like Monsta X's music for a very long time. Probably starting with All About Love is when I really started to listen to their stuff. So maybe I'll go back and give them another shot. But Alligator is still going to be Alligator, Nothing can change that. Shine by Pentagon versus Mamma Mia by SF9. I feel like this is one of those unfair matchups because Shine is Shine. But I actually really love Mamma Mia. I don't know what SF9 have been doing after that, but I feel like I remember not liking their other titles as much as I liked Mamma Mia. Just because it's one of those bouncy vibes songs that you don't hear all the time. And I think that's probably why I paired it up with Shine, but Shine is so good. And you will notice that in this whole category, I haven't included any songs that have been released in March of 2021. And that is because I am going to talk about them in my March wrap up. But I also don't think it's necessarily fair for a brand new song to get put in against some of these older songs, just because if I'm listening to a song a lot because it just came out, I feel like that gives them an unfair advantage. So I have included some songs from January and February, but I haven't included anything from March. Next category, we're doing 9 3/4 Run Away by Tomorrow by Together versus Thanks by 17. I don't know why I chose these two songs. I think they kind of both have this almost bittersweet, melancholy kind of vibe that makes me think of each other. Even though Thanks is not my favorite 17 title track, it's definitely up there, probably top 5, possibly top 3. Runaway, I will say, I think is my favorite Tomorrow by Together title. And Tomorrow by Together have been doing something that no other group has been doing, and I really admire them. I think their music is incredible. They have probably a very close to flaw-free discography, Japanese songs included and everything, but 17 are my alt group. What am I to do here? I think these categories are going to get even trickier as we move into the next one, so I feel like I have to choose and then move on and apologize. I think I would listen more to Runaway. I'm so sorry, 17. And this last one, I don't know why I did this. This is really upsetting to me, and I don't know why past me set myself up for failure like this, but I matched up Backdoor by Stray Kids with Superhuman by NCT 127. Why did I do that? That's horrible. That's horrible. These are my two favorites by a long shot. Like, no other songs by these group come close. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to Backdoor, but I think I really have to give it to Superhuman. It has just that incredible vocal line that I feel like you don't get in other songs, and Backdoor is legendary. If this were Superhuman versus any other song, there would be no hesitation whatsoever. So I think that says actually a lot about Backdoor. All right, let's move on to our B-sides category. Let's start on our boy group B-sides. Once again, I matched up Tomorrow by Together with 17. I don't know what this is saying about me, but here I have matched up Roller Coaster with Network Love, and this one, Network Love has to take it. Network Love is probably my number one favorite 17 song, and someone recently on Twitter did some research, and they looked up to see if 17 has performed every song in their discography. And out of all of the songs that they have released so far, Japanese songs included and everything, they have only never performed live 2 songs, I Wish and Network Love. So when Network Love live happens, I will be inconsolable. Do not text me, or actually text me, check on me, because I don't really know what I'll be able to do at that point. I think my soul will have departed my body, never to be seen again. Please help me find it. This is purely hypothetical, of course. This next one is gonna be a B-side category from new releases. So these ones are from February. And I realized when I was making this that I neglected to talk about WeI because their album got nerfed in the great Spotify Cacao M War of 2021. And I had forgotten that that was one of the ones that had gotten eliminated, so I didn't go to listen to it on YouTube or any other site. And that was a huge mistake. That album is amazing, and I will probably talk about it in my March wrap up, just in like a, hey, like I missed this from February. But that song is so good. Diffuser especially. That whole album is actually really, really amazing, and I don't know anything about their group, but I think if they continue on in this vein, they are going to be doing great stuff. And then Secret Triangle by On and Off. On and Off. I love Secret Triangle, but I feel like Diffuser has to take it. Maybe it is because of the novelty. Maybe the exact reason why is that I wasn't going to include new releases is the reason why this is one. And therefore I have vindicated myself. What is the truth? This next one, Salty by the Boys versus Golden Goose by Ace, ACE. Not really sure the difference. I'm sorry. Once again, I haven't done my research. These ones are some of the kind of underrated, long-lasting or groups with longevity. I feel like both of these groups are kind of in the same category of they have their fans and their fans adore them, but they still somehow remain underrated in the K-pop fandom at large. I love both of these songs. I think I have to give it to Salty though, just because I know I've listened to it more than once. This next one is kind of like our rock category a little bit. So we're giving it to Headache by Day 6 versus Surreal by AB6. And I know I didn't put them together because of their band name. So, but I think that is very funny. And I'm clever, even if it's by accident. Headache is probably my favorite Day 6 song. So I think this was an unfair matchup. Sorry to AB6. But that song is really good. Surreal is wonderful. Gravity by EXO versus Nonstop by NCT 127. This is a fairer matchup, I think, on behalf of both EXO and NCT, just because they have that very classic SM production to it. I think both of these are extremely strong B-sides, but Gravity is possibly one of my very favorite EXO songs of all time, so sorry to Nonstop. La Chata by Vanner versus The Black Hole by Pentagon. I feel like a lot of people don't know who Vanner are. Maybe I'll do a video in the future talking about underrated or new groups that a lot of people are not aware of. Vanner, I think, have this really cool sound and concept that not a lot of groups are doing right now. I think they're a 4-piece. They've only released a few songs, so it's quite easy to get in on the ground floor with them. They have sort of like that dark concept, rock concept right now, but you never know moving forward what it could look like. Versus The Black Hole by Pentagon. I have to give it to Pentagon. Sorry. To Vanner. But The Black Hole is so good. Considering that it's the name of the album, I feel like not a lot of people talk about this song, but they should. Flip a Coin by Victon versus Bepse by BTS. These songs have very similar vibes to me, and I don't know why. I think they are kind of both very hard and abrasive in a way that you don't see a lot. I do think Flip a Coin has certain aspects of it that are stronger. I do like some of the vocals a little bit better. And I do like that very first rap by Hanse. Like, you can't beat that. However, I think Bepse as a whole is a stronger song. So I will give this one to BTS. even though I do think, once again, that I am a genius for matching these up. If anybody is into like music production or anything, I give any of these matchups free, like as an idea. Just link me to the final product, just because I feel like that's only fair. And this last one is You Need Me by SHINee versus Drippin' by NCT Dream. Once again, another SM matchup. I don't know why I did this. This is not fair to NCT Dream. Even though Drippin' is a great song, I feel like I have no idea why they gave it to them that early on in their career, though. I feel like if you've heard that song, you know what I mean. But You Need Me is SHINee's best B-side, in my humble opinion. So it can't go to anyone else. All right, and now we are moving on to our last category, our girl group B-sides. All right, so we are starting with Open Your Eyes by IZ*ONE versus Girlfriend by Rocket Punch. Now, I feel like if you know me at all, you know that this one is a no-brainer, and I probably made my life a little too easy by matching this up with, yes, one of my favorite Rocket Punch songs, but not a song that a lot of people know, because Open Your Eyes is probably my favorite IZ*ONE song, and it was my top played song of 2020 and my top B-side of 2020, and so that wasn't fair. But as we move further into the brackets, I think it will become more difficult. So for now, I think I need to give myself an easy win. Like I Do by Elvis versus Pantomime by Cosmic Girls, WJSN. This one is tough because I feel like these songs are very similar in feel, which of course is why I matched them up. But I do have to give it to Pantomime. It is so good. And I'm already dreading thinking about Pantomime versus Open Your Eyes, because both of those songs are incredible. Click by Rainbow versus Lemon by Chungha. Click is one of the B-sides off of the same album that Woo came from. That song is so good. If you have been a fan of 17 for a long time, you might have heard it already. Woo is one of the songs that they danced to in their like girl group random play dance from years and years ago, back in their super old days. I think that song is amazing. Rainbow deserved better. I wish they had had the opportunity to stick around longer, put out more music. I love Click. It gets stuck in my head sometimes. And I love a song with an exclamation point in it. What's not to love about that? Black or White by Duque versus Hell in Heaven by Twice. Once again, I am making my life so difficult. Black or White is a featured B-side by Duque, and Hell in Heaven is not, though it is my favorite Twice B-side off Eyes Wide Open. And they just have a very similar, like, kind of dark concept vibe. I do feel like I have to give this one to Duque, though, because Black or White has that incredible Dami rap in it that is impossible to get out of your head. It's just so good. Whatever You Want by Weki Meki versus Round and Round by Woo Ah. That, once again, I don't feel it is exactly fair to pit a more established group against a new group. However, Round and Round really holds its own, as much as I love Whatever You Want and as much as Whatever You Want is winning. If you haven't yet listened to, I don't know why that is illegible, sorry, but the next round will hopefully be more legible. If you haven't yet listened to Wua's stuff, now is a great time. They only have 2 minis so far. Definitely check them out. Fermata by OGG and Voice by Luna. These ones are both sort of mid-tempo, almost ballady. Fermata definitely is, and I think that is very uncharacteristic for me. I am known to not really like ballads that much, but here I am recommending one. Why did I pit this against Voice? Voice is such a good song. But I think on element of surprise alone, Fermata has to run away with the win on this one. Step by FX versus Love Rum Pum Pum by Fromis9. I love Step. Step has been one of my favorite K-pop songs since the very beginning. I think FX was probably the third K-pop group I ever got into. I got into twice, then Red Velvet, then FX, which is, I don't know how to describe that journey. It's just how it shook out. But I listened to Step every single day for the better part of a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years. But Love Rum Pum Pum is a magical girl song written by Woozi. Like, I don't know what anybody expects me to do. Oops. Love Rum Pum Pum takes the win. And the last one, Very Very by Momoland versus Lucky Girl by Red Velvet. I think I just put Very Very in here because it's my favorite Momoland B-side, and I wanted to represent Momoland because I forgot to include them in the title tracks category. But it can't beat Lucky Girl. It can't. Lucky Girl is probably my favorite Red Velvet song total. I think that song is just so good. It's just, no one else could put out a song like that, I think. And I love it. So this is what we're looking at after our initial matchups. Wow, we have already eliminated so many. But now we return to our initial category and see what we do next. So we are looking at Wee Woo versus Peekaboo, which, again, another great thought. I think we can work with that. Let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Ooh, that's tough. But if we have to go just by listenability and how often I am listening to these songs, I do have to give it to Kristen. La Di Da versus TT. I'm so sorry to Everglow, but TT is legendary. Bazooka versus Very Very Very. Ooh, that one's actually tricky because there's nothing similar about that song whatsoever. Ooh, I don't know. We'll come back to that one. Ung versus Hush. Again, what? Oh, man. Hush is... wow. I think I have to give it to Ung. We'll give her due here. Bazooka versus Very Very Very. Once again, I think I just have to go with my gut. We're gonna do Very Very Very. Wow. Eliminations are happening. Boy group title tracks. UN Village versus Baby. UN Village. Sorry to Astro. I know you have a comeback coming up. I'm excited to hear more from you. But you're not UN Village, are you? Jopping versus Lucky One. Oh no. How did that happen? Why did I do that? Nothing makes you feel like jopping but jopping. You can't jop to anything else, just legally. I don't think you can. Shine versus Chained Up. I'm always going to give it to Shine. Well, I say always, but we'll see what happens in the next matchup. Superhuman versus Runaway. Superhuman. You have to be ruthless about this kind of thing. Diffuser versus Network Love. Gotta be Network Love. My handwriting is getting worse and worse, sorry. Headache versus Salty. Headache. Sorry to the boys. Black Hole versus Gravity. Ooh, Gravity. EXO can prevail this time. You Need Me versus Bepse. You Need Me. And the last category, Open Your Eyes versus Pantomime. In the girl group B-sides. Open your eyes. Ooh. Pantomime has that key change at the end. And I think that's the only reason why I have to give it to him right now. Click versus Black or White. Black or White. Whatever You Want versus Fermata. Ooh, that's tough. I love Fermata and it's beautiful, but I think right now, as I'm doing this, it goes to Whatever You Want. And I think that's the thing about this too, is like, I feel like when there is a matchup in sports, for instance, and correct me if I'm wrong, I guess. Actually, I don't care about sports that much. But in sports, theoretically, it's kind of random. Like, I know that the whole goal is for you to pick players that are really strong, that can beat anyone, that can do anything, what have you. However, how realistic is that really? I think there are going to be some teams that are always going to be able to beat another team, and some teams that are just affected by environmental factors that happen to allow them to beat one team one time. And it's like they go to the finals by accident. So I feel like it is very dependent on when the game is played, where the game is played. And so I'm kind of taking that element of chaos into consideration when I am making this video and just going with my gut, because I feel like if I did this again with the exact same chart in 3 months, 6 months, it would look totally different. So I think that's what we need to be thinking about here. And Love Rum Pum Pum versus Lucky Girl. Ooh, I do think that there is a vibe here that I'm interested in. Lucky Girl is more fun to belt in the car versus Love Rum Pum Pum, which is fun to dance alone to. So they are very similar in a lot of ways, but I think they offer you something different. They nourish your soul in different ways. Pantomime versus Black or White. God, I loved UK, but I really think I have to give it to Pantomime. Whatever You Want versus Lucky Girl. I think Whatever You Want has that instrumental with such like forward movement, I think. And I think that's what we need right now. You Need Me versus Gravity. Oh, that's... I love SHINee so much, but I also love EXO. It's Gravity. I'm sorry. Who am I apologizing to? I'm right. I'm right. I have to be right. You have to believe in yourself. And I think this is a real exercise in that. Headache versus Network Love. Wow. Known possible friends, Jay and Joshua, head to head on this one. It is Network Love. I think it will be very difficult for any song to beat Network Love, but we will see as we move further into the matchups. Superhuman versus Shine. Oh, man. Shine just brings happiness wherever it goes. I have not seen anybody not smile at Shine. You know what I mean? Jopping versus UN Village. Jopping. Even though I saw both of them at the Super Emma concert. That was the first time I ever heard UN Village, actually. Sorry to bake him. But now I make a point to listen to all his songs. But back then, I didn't think I was going to like his music. I don't know why I didn't think he was going to make amazing songs. That was my foolish choice. Very, very, very versus Unung. It is Unung all the way. And Woo Woo versus TT. Wow. Wow. How do people do this? I think in real March Madness, who they think is going to win so that they can win money, I think, versus this, which is just for fun and putting yourself through obstacles because there are some things in life that we can't control, so we have to be in control of whatever we can. These are the tests that we all must face. And here we are. TT versus Ungung. Wow. You know what? I was about to make a choice and then I totally just hesitated, which I think means that's how I go to the reason I hesitated. But gosh. Oh no, now it just says Joppin'. I don't know how I deleted the G. There we go. You are jopping once more. Shine versus jopping. Wow. I knew that this would get more challenging as we went on, but this is extremely challenging. I think I do have to give it to jopping. Oh, that's like almost painful. Almost. Pantomime versus whatever you want. Pantomime. Though I am really pleased with the fact that Weki Meki made it that far. Gravity versus Network Love. Again, incredible matchup. I think they belong in the same category. I think they have very similar vibes. They both have like that kind of electronic, futuristic vibe to it. But this is my list. So Network Love has to go. All the way, baby. TT versus Jobbing. See, that's an extremely easy choice for me. And then Pantomime versus Network Love. Network Love. And then as we approach the very end of K-pop March Madness 2021, TT versus Network Love. Who is our ultimate champion this year? Network Love by 17. I love this song. Probably my number one favorite 17 song. TT, my favorite Twice song. I feel it only right that the final matchup was between my two ults. I didn't do it on purpose, but it does feel right, doesn't it? Oh, that's so grainy. Never mind. I'm going to zoom out. And there we have it, folks. Our 2021 K-pop March Madness with this year's winner, Network Love. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it hasn't been too much of a mess, but it was really fun for me to do. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know. Maybe I can create a blank and other people can do their own March Madness. Let me know if that's something you might be interested in, and I can post it on a Google Drive link or on Twitter or something like that. And then we can all have fun doing our own matchups. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are well, stay happy, and have a wonderful day.